Kind of weird because you go into work every day and you still have. I'm considered an essential employee. I was considered an essential employee because you still have IT related stuff that needs to happen. And since we're going virtual, we still had to do that. But all of our teachers were still coming in, even though the students weren't there, to record their lessons and do things like that in the beginning. So kind of sucks because you go into work every day knowing that you're putting yourself at risk. Um, Even though you wear your mask and stuff like that, it just seems unethical to go into work every day when you know the spread is continually happening and the numbers are going up. Um, that being said, got through most of the summer working there. They cut my hours quite a bit, so like I wasn't working as much. I was working maybe like 6 hours a day versus my 9 hour days normally. So my pay went down, and because of that, I ended up switching industries. Even though I was considered essential employee market and I didn't lose my job, I ended up quitting my job and going to CDL school because money and more hours and more money. So took the pay cut or dropped out of my job. Didn't get approved for unemployment because I left voluntarily, even though I left to go to school. So I'm still fighting that to see if I can get unemployment. But went to CDL school, just graduated like 2 weeks ago, so I should be on the road in about a week or so. And pretty much it's even more job security there because it's the fourth most in-demand job in America: police, firefighters, ambulance, and trucking. So that should be interesting. It is interesting also seeing like truckers' perspective on all this COVID stuff because everybody sees like first responders, firemen, police officers, EMTs. They see them and they think, okay, those are like their emergency vehicles and all that. But seeing the trucker's perspective is kind of interesting because they're actually the fourth most dangerous profession out of all four of those. Actually, after military, police, and firefighter comes trucking. Like we have the most deaths on the road. And none of the stuff that they're getting in all these stores that are open would happen without truckers. So it's pretty cool being a part of that industry now. So actually being able to give back some way. But yeah, went off tangent a little bit, but pretty much experience has been kind of interesting. It's just like seeing that there's no other jobs. You kind of only have a couple tracks that you can go. You can go unemployed, you can keep whatever little work you have, or take a risk and go into another field that you know you can get work in. So that's kind of been my experience with that. Okay, so the pandemic hasn't really affected my happiness so much. It's affected my lifestyle. So I guess you can say a little bit, like can't go to the club, can't do anything like that. Like the bars are all closed. Like we have like 2 bars that are open in town right now. One of them's Carolina Ale House, which is like a chain. It's like a Ruby Tuesdays. It's not really a real bar like that. So for the nightlife, it kind of has affected it quite a bit because this is not a big town, so there's not that much to do. So you can imagine now a lot of businesses have closed down and things like that. I'm a business owner myself. I was trying to open up a coffee shop in Hope County in Rayford this year, and pandemic pretty much put that to a halt completely. So that did suck. That was kind of stressful because that was like months and months in planning. We already had a location, we had investors, everything dropped out last minute because of the pandemic. So I try not to let those events affect my happiness per se, but yeah, it was a bummer. Other than that, I mean, it sucks that all this stuff is happening and it has changed the lifestyle a bit, but me personally, like I've been able to cope with it. But I can't say the same for other people. A lot of other people have been affected far worse than I have. A lot of other people were just laid off as soon as this happened, having to depend on unemployment. And for some people, that's not that easy. Some people like it, some people don't, you know? So for me, I didn't really get affected too much financially, but my businesses did. So I have a couple different businesses, and my investors pulled out, and I was trying to get everything started for the year of 2020. So now it's looking like 2021 is going to be my year, hopefully. But yeah, more or less that's been my experience as a business owner. It has affected me financially, especially since we were just starting up. And then just in my personal life, it's a lot harder to do stuff here. You know, I picked up skating again during the pandemic.
I did too.
So it's good exercise and you don't need to wear masks. So it's kind of been my thing lately. But other than that, it hasn't been too bad. So I really can't complain. But yeah, it has affected everyone around here, especially in these parts, even military folk, because a lot of them get quarantined all the time, and it's a struggle. So this should be interesting. You know he's doing that on purpose.
Yeah.